Blog Talk Radio.
Good afternoon. Welcome to today's show, Celebrating Black History, Past and Present. This is Brenda Johnson-Patrick, your host, here on A-Swift Radio. African Americans suffered many injustices throughout U.S. history. Kidnapped from the continent of Africa to North America, blacks have endured slavery, picking cotton, segregation, and racism. The Civil War and Civil Rights Movement both served as a transitional event to bring about justice and equality to African Americans and all people. Slave abolitionists and civil rights activists laid the groundwork for change and the birth of a transitional figure.
Lincoln said to a nation far more divided than ours, "We are not enemies, but friends. Though passion may have strained, it must not break our bonds of affection." And to those Americans whose support I have yet to earn, I may not have won your vote tonight, but I hear your voices. I need your help, and I will be your president too.
President Barack Obama says that someone else also made history in 2008.
This election had many firsts and many stories that will be told for generations, but one that's on my mind tonight is about a woman who cast her ballot in Atlanta. She is a lot like the millions of others who stood in line to make their voice heard in this election, except for one thing. Ann Nixon Cooper is 106 years old. She was born just a generation past slavery, a time when there were no cars on the road or planes in the sky, when someone like her couldn't vote for two reasons: because she was a woman and because of the color of her skin. And tonight, I think about all that she's seen throughout her century in America: the heartache and the hope, the struggle and the progress, the times we were told that we can't, and the people who pressed on with that American creed: yes, we can.
Those cuts are from President Barack Obama's victory speech taken from the NewYorkTimes.com. President Barack Obama is our 44th and current president. He is the first African-American male to hold the highest office in the land. He was elected in November 2008. He previously served as United States Senator from Illinois. He will be known throughout history for his stimulus package to help better the U.S. economy and passing legislation on health care. More information on President Barack Obama's biography can be found at biography.com, or you can find information in wikipedia.org. Lawrence Douglas Wilder is another history maker of today. Wilder was the first black governor of Virginia and of any state. He served as the 66th governor from 1990 to 1994. He is the grandson of slaves. He was educated at Union and Howard University, where he studied law. Wilder supported fair housing and union rights. He is also a military veteran, supporter of our military troops and diversity.
You'll find two or three things: patriotism, the flag, and Willie Horton. Willie Horton, as you know, was perhaps one of the most despicable lads in modern times. Even Lee Atwater denounced it. George Bush has yet to do that. Patriotism is something that isn't just red, white, and blue. I think it's red, white, brown, black, and yellow.
That cut was from Wilder's campaign.
And you and I know that We are many, many people in our country, our diversity, our strength. And this is what has made us. There are many parts of the body, but they all are important. There's no such thing as the eye saying, I won't be a part of the ear, and
That cut was from Wilder's campaign speech on November 23, 1991 on cspanvideo.org. I hope you are enjoying Celebrating Black History Past and Present. It is now 5 minutes past the hour. Time for a commercial break. I'm Brenda Johnson-Paget here on A-Swift Radio. The Young Scholars Book Club, a free online educational program for pre-K to 4th grade. The program offers a monthly book title to read, downloadable tutoring worksheets in all core subjects, answer keys, prizes, recognition, and a whole lot more. Visit the Young Scholars Book Club at www.tysbookclub.com or call 1-800-506-0950 for more information. Welcome back to Celebrating Black History, Past and Present, here on A-Swift Radio. I'm Brenda Johnson-Paget, your host. We are talking about African-American icons who made significant impacts in U.S. history. We discussed President Barack Obama and Lawrence Douglas Wilder in our first segment. Both are living legends. Among our living legends are Oprah Winfrey and Maya Angelou. Oprah Winfrey, according to Forbes magazine, is the richest African-American of the 20th century and is the only black billionaire for the last 3 years. Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954 in Mississippi. She is a television host, actress, producer, and philanthropist. People know her best for her role as Sophia in The Color Purple. She was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She launched The Oprah Winfrey Show in 1986, and 10 million people watch her show. Maya Angelou is well-respected African-American icon who is a poet, producer, novelist, educator, historian, civil rights activist, and more. She was born April 4, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. During her childhood, she won a scholarship to study dance and drama at San Francisco's Labor School. She also became the first African-American female cable car conductor at age 14. Maya Angelou is known for her poetry and books. One of her most famous books is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, and her poetry includes Phenomenal Woman and Still I Rise. This information was taken from the biography of Miss Angelou on mayaangelou.com. It is now 5 minutes past the hour. Time for another commercial break. This is Brenda Johnson-Paget here on A-Swift Radio. EB's Flip the Script production by Eunice Bridges. She writes books, plays, produces short films, and movies. She produced her first short film, The Prayer of a Righteous Seed, and is currently working on other projects. To find out more about EB's Flip the Script production, log on at www.ebsflipit.com. A-Swift Radio, bringing you the best in radio, keeping you informed, and highlighting your day with Brenda Paget, Eunice Bridges, and Galinda Fields on A-Swift Radio. Ambassador sent with information for this time. Tune in online to A-Swift Radio here at www.blogtalkradio.com/A-Swift Radio. Call us anytime off air at 1-866-302-0508, extension 3060. A-Swift Radio. Welcome back to Celebrating Black History Past and Present here on A-Swift Radio. I'm Brenda Johnson-Paget, your host. We are talking about African-American icons who made significant impacts in U.S. history. We discussed President Barack Obama, Lawrence Douglas Wilder, Oprah Winfrey, and Maya Angelou. All are living legends. We will now take a look at other African-American icons such as Cormac Cottrell and John Johnson. Cormac Cottrell was born December 7, 1931 in Mobile, Alabama. As a teenager, he and his brother started their own business selling Easter bunnies. In 1970, Cormac Cottrell and his brother Jimmy Cottrell created the Proline Corporation hair care products. In 1973, Cormac Cottrell made his first $1 million selling Proline hair care products. Mr. Cottrell is also known for manufacturing the Proline Curly Kit. The sales from the Curly Kit took Cottrell's sales from $1 million to $10 million. He became part owner of the Texas Rangers with George W. Bush in 1989. Cormac Cottrell purchased and restored Bishop College campus in 1990, and it became the home of AME Paul Quinn College in Dallas, Texas. This information was taken from the biography of Mr. Cottrell on HistoryMakers.com. John Johnson is another African-American icon who has made a contribution to black history. Mr. Johnson was born on January 19, 1918 in Arkansas City, Arkansas. Through a lot of hard work, he built 2 successful magazines following the World War II. Ebony and Jet magazines were widely read in African-American communities and are still read today. Mr. Johnson also launched a Fashion Fair cosmetics line for women who have darker skin. Rupert Cornwell of London's independent newspaper said that John Johnson would be remembered as a pioneer in black journalism when a large part of America lived in the shadow of segregation and open racism. John Johnson died on August 8, 2005. This information was taken from notablebiographies.com. We are talking about African-American icons who made significant impacts on U.S. history. In our first segment, we discussed President Barack Obama, Lawrence Douglas Wilder, Oprah Winfrey, Maya Angelou, Cormac Cottrell, and John Johnson. We will now take a look at African-American icons who were pioneers and courageous enough to create a path long ago for African-Americans. These pioneers include Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Dr. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and Medgar Evers. Harriet Tubman is well known throughout history as Moses. She was known for her key role in guiding slaves in the Underground Railroad to freedom. The Underground Railroad was a network of safe houses that slaves could stay in along their journey to the northern states. Tubman made 19 trips to the South and guided over 300 slaves to freedom. She once proudly pointed out to Frederick Douglass, "In all of my journeys, I have never lost a single passenger." Frederick Douglass was also a hero during Harriet Tubman's time. Douglass was known for giving eloquent speeches about his life as a slave. He was also a leader for the abolitionists of slavery and racial equality. This information was taken from PBS.org, Africans in America. After the Civil War ended in 1865 and the 13th Amendment had been signed, there was still mistreatment of African Americans. The era of the Civil Rights Movement was pioneered by Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, and others. The Montgomery bus boycott started in 1955 when Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on the bus to a white passenger. When the news spread throughout Montgomery, Alabama, about Rosa, leaders such as Martin Luther King Jr. came together with other leaders to form the Montgomery bus boycott. Martin Luther King Jr. wanted the Montgomery bus boycott to be a peaceful and nonviolent to end segregation on public buses. It was in 1956 the Supreme Court ruled that segregation on public buses was unconstitutional. This information was taken from biography.com. After Martin Luther King Jr. successfully led the Montgomery bus boycott, he immediately became a popular speaker for the Civil Rights Movement. He led the March on Washington in 1963.
50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice.